How's it going, fam? Welcome back to Erica's EDC, and today we are doing a really exciting video about some new designs coming out, some releases, some drops. We're just doing a knife chat today. It is a beautiful day here in New Hampshire. Cold, but beautiful. It is also Valentine's Day. A day of love. How beautiful. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope that you have someone to give a little bit of love to. If not, give it to yourself. You deserve it. But we have a lot of fun stuff to look at, guys, okay? Knife chat. Grab a beer. Grab your closest mom. Let's get into it. So, Duckhead Forge. I have been working with Dusty from Duckhead Forge for, I want to say, around a year, I think. Dusty works at Pop's Knife Supply. If you guys don't know what that is, it's in Georgia. Big knife store, knife supply store, I guess. They sell steel, micarta G10, all of the things that you need to make a knife, the glue, all of the things, right? Shout out to Pops. They're awesome. Dusty is one of the managers there, and I have been working with him for a while. Our first design was the Slater, and please excuse the Blade Balm on all of these blades. It is what I use to store them. Blade Balm from Babymoon Blades. I will try to remember to link them down below. Great stuff. I put it on all of the blades when I keep them in storage, okay? Somebody was asking about that the other day. So, anyway, the Slater from Duckhead Forge. This was our first design together. Dusty is an amazing worker. He does really nice knives, very aesthetically pleasing, but useful too. There are a number of guys that work at Pops that are like custom knife makers, very well known in the custom knife community. They make blades that don't even look real. They're so gorgeous. So Dusty has had a lot of really impressive guys influencing his work and teaching him, mentoring him, if you will. So you can kind of tell in Dusty's designs who has inspired him with some of the traits that he integrates into the knives. But this is the Slater, and this was our little, I think, 6.5-inch EDC knife. This is one of our best sellers, and this was our first design. Really tiny little blade. Okay, so we made this. It was a huge hit. It still is. And then we ended up making a larger knife for more outdoors tasks. And this is the Chum. And this is a do-everything outdoors knife. You can do field dressing with it. You can do camp tasks with it and camp cooking. My other one in 8670 steel is one of the knives that did the best when we were butchering a deer this year. And this is a really cool, lightweight, but robust knife. Just a great all-around outdoors knife, okay? Much bigger. I think it's got to be around 8 inches, something like that. I should know, but so many knives, right? But people started requesting an in-between to go in the middle of the Slater and the Chum, because these are very different in size and utility and all that stuff, okay? So tons of people were asking for a middleman, and we have created it. Introducing, drum roll please, the Duckhead, if I could even say it correctly, Duckhead Forge Ranger. Check this out. So this is literally a hybrid between the Slater and the Chum. We took aspects from both models, put them into this. So the handle has the contouring, I would say, of the Chum. You have that slow incline up to the middle balance point, and then it comes back down and swoops up. Very reminiscent of the same way the Chum flows, because the Slater is a very straight knife, and it's supposed to be by design. This is very straight across, okay? So the Ranger, we took the design of the Chum and gave it that flow. But we do have this right here is all exactly from the Slater, because on the Chum we have those scallops for that detail work. Then the blade is, I would say, more like a mini Chum blade. Again, the Slater is very straight, a little thinner, whereas the Chum has a little more blade height. So the Ranger has a nice slicey blade, and it's kind of a perfect in-between and hybrid of both designs. So these are available. We have a limited quantity, I think 3, in PSF 27, which is spray form D2. The rest of them after the limited batch will be K390, of course. We do nearly everything in high hardness K390 at 64.5 HRC. But we have a limited quantity of the PSF 27 ones. Really excited to test this steel. I've never even touched it in my life, so this will be really cool. But this is an awesome little blade. I have the card that says exactly how long this is. Give me a second. It is 7 1/4 inches overall with a 3 1/8 blade. Really excited about this. I think this is going to fit a lot of people's hands very well. This will literally be able to do anything. Like 15 thou BTE, so that's dang near perfect. But that is the Ranger, available now with Duckhead Forge. I will link him down below. And then there's another design that we did that is equally as exciting, okay? So, you guys know I am testing the Montana Knife Company Blackfoot 2.0, and I really like the design of this. However, one of my goals has always been to find production knives and essentially make them better through custom makers, and not in a disrespectful way at all. I think healthy competition in the industry is good. We want people competing to make the best of the best. So when you find something that you like in a production knife, but you can find ways to improve it and make it better, I think that's a healthy thing. The market needs that competition. So right from the get-go with this knife, I did not understand the 3/4 of an inch here that is completely not utilized, right? In my introduction video, I said I would have loved to either see the cutting edge come back farther so that we had more literal cutting edge to use, or if this was meant for some sort of pinch grip, which you can't really do because the scales are in the way. Like, your pinch grip would go right there, right? And about half of my thumb is just floating in space because it's on the scale. So either bring the scales up and taper them so that you can do a real pinch grip, or back these off even more so that you're actually gripping that steel, right? I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute. Well, I'll just show you now, actually. This is done properly, right? So this is another hunting knife. This is from Colton Cutlery. Joe Colton, he is a legend, absolute legend. Everyone knows Joe, and if you don't, where have you been? He's a legend. Has a YouTube channel too. I'll also try to link him down below. So this Carter necker that Joe does makes sense because he leaves this huge area in about an inch with a finger choil specifically for fine work when you're skinning game. Now this makes sense. I can fit the pads of my fingers on that steel and actually use that. The scales are not in the way, and you have that finger choil right there. So this makes sense to me, all of that unutilized steel, because it's actually there as a platform, right? I don't know what they were trying to achieve with this, but you can't do it with this because the scales are not tapered, but also it's just not quite enough room to to do anything with. You're just kind of half and half there. So that was something that I really wanted to improve on my design, and I really liked the traditional skinning blade. I liked the flow. This is very much one of those knives that starts down here, comes up, goes back down, and then flows up. Love that. So there were a lot of things about this that I really liked, but I knew we could do better. So Dusty and I came up with the Stalker. This is super exciting because I don't do hunting knife designs very often, but this is a little bit of a hybrid of the two knives I just showed with things that made a little more sense to us. So first of all, targeting that area that we really needed to improve. We ended up bringing the scales up further, but putting a little bit of a ramp on them for pinch grip. So this is absolutely a knife where you can choke up and really do fine work and have a nice grip there. And it makes sense because we have that taper and it fits perfectly. So we accomplished that. I really wanted to adopt the thin geometry of the Montana knife. So we've got 0.08 on that blade stock thickness. Really nice and slicey. I loved the flow of the Montana knife as well. We did make it a little more subdued, so this is a little more straight, but I felt that maybe that would fit people's hands better, and what we could do to create that skinning motion with ease, we gave it a lot of belly up here, did a nice little swedge. So this feels better in hand than this. This is very comfortable in hand, don't get me wrong. But this, I feel like, because we don't have this, I'm not sure what you would call this. I'm just gonna call it a ramp. I don't know the technical term. This one has a ramp right here. We did take that out. That way, no matter what size hand you have, it should rest kind of wherever. But we still have the skinning blade. So I think that looks really sharp with that swedge. So this is kind of our take on a traditional hunting knife, but with modern attributes, modern geometry, modern steel. They're going to be in K390, but we have a couple in S35 VN available right now, limited quantity, I think like 2 or 3. These are at 63 HRC on that S35 VN, which will probably be an experience in itself because production S35 is never really 63, so that's going to be fun in itself. The Ranger, these limited Rangers in the PSF 27 are 64 HRC, so high hardness, thin geometry, really cool experience, but these are also available. And I'm just really excited about this. I think this looks really sharp. I'm very excited about having another skinning knife, a dedicated hunting knife, but with all of these modern characteristics, I think it's really cool. So those are the two new offerings from Dusty at Duckhead Forge. Like I said, I'll put his stuff down in the description below. You can place an order. Next up is a really exciting design that is an interesting collaboration between a number of people. This is the Sidekick from Northern Knife Works and Knife Guy Mods. So this is a very unique project where Levi over at Northern Knife Works made the blanks for these in crew wear, 63 to 64 HRC. And he did all the grinding and the edges and everything. And then he shipped them to Josh Francis from Knife Guy Mods, and Josh is putting the handles on them. So this is a very cool opportunity to get something completely unique and custom to you with high hardness, super steel, custom heat treat, all of it done by hand here in the States. But you get to pick and choose exactly what you do to your knife. This is very cool. We are seeing more opportunities like this come up in the custom world where numerous people are doing different parts of the project to create knives for you guys, and you have more freedom to create what is in your head. And I'm really excited about this because these are only $250. I forgot to mention price point on these two. $325 shipped with a USA made leather sheath, okay? So including shipping with the sheath, all of the things, $325. Not bad. Not bad at all. Kind of crazy. For price reference, this is $300 before shipping, before tax and everything. For 25 extra bucks, you get something, you know, above and beyond a production knife. And this is only $250. Crazy, right? So this is really cool because this really reminds me of the knives that I grew up with. So I grew up with old hickory knives. I grew up with the really old leather stacked K-bar knives when they were made in the USA. Like those particular knives were made in the USA. I know now they do them all over the place. This is really reminiscent of what I grew up with. Actually, so much so because I'm a girl and I'm sensitive and a baby, I was almost like brought to tears when this came in because it was so nostalgic. It just sparked something in my mind that made me think of my childhood and what got me into knives and what I grew up with. If you guys don't know, my father worked for Chicago Cutlery. He made knives. So ever since I was created on planet Mars as an alien, knives have been my heart and my soul. And this looks like the knives I grew up with. This looks like the Chicago Cutlery knives that my father made and used every day. It's just so reminiscent of that, and it almost made me emotional because I don't see a ton of knives like this. We have a lot of flashy stuff. We have a lot of fancy things. So Josh has these blanks available. You can tell him what you want for handle material and he will order it. You can literally put whatever you want. G10, micarta, carbon fiber. You can send in material to him. You can order material and have it shipped to him. You have so much freedom with these. It's very unique. And again, you have that custom heat treat, custom knife, razor sharp from a fabulous custom maker. I've been working with Levi for a while now, but you know, $250 and you have created, you know, the handle of it. I think that is so cool. So 15 thou BTE on these as well, razor sharp. I went the Slater configuration route, of course, because I'm obsessed. So we've just got vintage micarta, orange G10 liners. These are thick boys, but this makes them completely utilitarian. I will absolutely be able to baton with this, beat the crap out of it, pry with it. This is really the heart and soul of an old school, completely EDC knife. If, you know, you don't have to believe in knives being pry bars if you don't want to. However, our grandfathers saw knives as pry bars and screwdrivers and all kinds of things. We have really strayed from that and evolved. But if you're someone who likes thick, beefy knives, you like that utilitarian aspect, and you want a knife that you can really beat on and use as a one-tool option, this is it. And Crewware is really a good steal. It's one of the best. It will take a patina over time. It is semi-stainless. But that's the Sidekick from Josh. Look at that edge. Holy crap. Josh and Levi. I will put both of their information down below as well, but this is just, you know, so exciting to me. It feels incredible in hand. Yeah, not my usual like thin, hard, well, it is hard, but not my usual thin and slicey knife, but I can so appreciate these as well. And it actually thins out quite a bit behind that edge. It is saber ground, but this is definitely like a really good utility knife, camp knife. So those are available as well. And then I do have one more little announcement before we shut this down because we're at 20 minutes. Levi from Northern Knife Works finally, for the love of hot moms, got his website updated and rolling, and knives are available through his website. Yay, Levi. Thank you. So the good news is he's going to be doing a drop of darts. The dart was Levi and I's first design together. How sweet. This is a knife that we've been doing for quite some time. It is just one of my all-time favorites. This is hugely inspired by the spike from Stonehawker. Simon Stonehawker, I think, is his name. And so he does a knife called the Spike. This was heavily influenced from that. It is, Gentry, I think, custom knives, the Upland Hunter. Again, these thin, like scalpel type knives were a huge inspiration to the dart. And these are one of our best sellers from Northern Knife Works, but there is a drop of these coming on his website. As soon as I get the deets on that, I'll let you guys know, but I already know the handle materials and stuff, and they're going to be hot. They're going to be really, really hot. K390, high hardness again, 10 thou BTE, super thin and slicey, but these are awesome. And we're going to be doing a drop of those on his website. It'll just make it easier for you guys to get those because not everyone has Instagram, and the website should be way easier to navigate than trying to figure out Instagram if you don't have one. So that is today's excitement, guys. Really, really stoked about all of these new offerings. And I just think it's so cool that we're finally getting more freedom in the custom world. I think it's really cool when you can do something like this where you can even send in material that you have. Like, let's say you have some cherry wood or some maple burl or whatever that your father left in his passing that you want to utilize for something sentimental. You can send that in and have it put on a knife for you. How cool is that? I think that's really neat. Even if you have, old micarta laying around somewhere, or you saw something online that you want to purchase and utilize and you snagged it real quick, but you don't make knives. Well, here's your chance. So just really excited about all of these new options. Things like this are becoming more available. We also have people starting up heat treat businesses where you can buy blanks and send them to get heat treated and then send them somewhere else to get handled and stuff like that. So Steve Kalari from Kalari Custom Knives, he's doing custom heat treats now where you can send blanks into him and he'll heat treat them, and then you could have him put a handle on, or you can have it shipped to Josh and have Josh do the handle. All these boys know each other. It's very cool. Steve and Josh have worked together. Levi and Josh work together. Levi, Steve, and Josh all work together. It's just such a cool, intertwined community that we're really bringing to the next level in terms of everyone working together as a family to create custom heirlooms for you guys. And everyone is taking their own little part in it. And I think it's just such a beautiful thing. You don't see that in the production world. We don't see this kind of ecosystem of different people doing different things and it all flowing together into a final product. It's just so cool, and sharing that knowledge and that skill. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I really like that all these boys are coming together to offer things like this. So that is my little lovey Valentine's Day rant for the day. We will be back to soulless, dark, creepy Erica on the next video. But today we were just loving and compassionate. Psych! Okay, anyway, I'm just, warming myself up here for your mom. She's very, lovey. She likes lovey things, so I'm loosening myself up here for that. Okay, we're getting fucking weird now. Sorry. Guys, I'm gonna go now. Okay? Have a great Valentine's Day. I love you. I love your mom. Have a wonderful day. Go use your shit. Learn how to sharpen your knives. Go give some love to all of the boys mentioned. I will see you on the next video, fam. I love you so much. Take care.